Parents were killed, youth were forced into military conflicts, and culture was decimated, and with it, languages disappeared. Beginning in 1960, Guatemala experienced a decades-long civil war. Trapped in an atmosphere of cultural and literal genocide, citizens of Guatemala stopped speaking their native languages for reasons of personal safety. The Xinkan languages were among them. The Xinkan languages are the only indigenous non-Mayan group of languages in Guatemala. And in 2008, there was only one speaker of Guazacapán Xinkan left, 95-year-old Carlos. In 2008, I went to Guazacapán, and every day I walked to Carlos's house, and I brought a bucket of mangoes, a pen, a paper, and a recorder, and while we shared a meal, he taught me Xinkan. Language is probably one of the most culturally impactful systems in society. In my studies of this more than 7,000 languages in the world, it's clear that each language does something a little bit differently. No two are exactly alike, but each represents a unique identity for the people who speak it. In Xinkan, for example, intransitive verbs are divided up into two types. The first type are concepts that are done by choice, and the second type are concepts that are not done by choice. For example, verbs like muk'tla to work, num'tla to eat, mumutla to sing, and kawitla to cry are all done by choice, whereas verbs like ishi to be alive and kata to lay down to kneel, kokma, which is a verb that is not done by choice. It's talking about the experience of kneeling rather than the action of kneeling. And the only way to talk about kneeling in this language is as something that you don't do by choice, something that you experience but not choose to do. This distinction provides a look into the culture of the Xinkan people, and it allows us to ask some interesting and important questions like, how does this distinction reflect the cultural practices of the Xinkan? Documenting languages is like putting together a puzzle, except you don't know what it's supposed to look like, and you don't know when you're finished. The shape keeps changing, you don't have all of the pieces, and the clock is running out. It's really exhilarating. Because Carlos shared with me his language, descendants of the Xinkan people can take classes and workshops and again begin to learn to speak these languages and value them in their societies. It's sobering to work with the last speakers of these languages that have been forcibly and tragically lost. As we've preserved the Xinkan languages, the Guatemalan people keep a piece of their history and they can connect to who they are. Neklang na elahalihe uka shal.
Today na penal. Pena que era pues. Today más pena.
Estena.
Estena.
Ah.